It's Friday, December 26th. It's the day after Christmas. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas, that maybe you had some time with family or friends or your dog, your cat, or maybe it was just some quiet time, a day of quiet time. So maybe you don't celebrate and maybe it was quiet time because certainly everything shuts down, or most things do anyways. So it was a good time to be quiet and hang out. And we had some fun shows for you pre-recorded yesterday. If you didn't get to catch those, you can always go back to artbeads.com/live and watch all of the repeats. So you guys, it is Artbeads Fab Friday, and I'm Deb, and this is what we like to do on Friday afternoon. We like to hang out. We like to talk about beads. We like to make something. We like to do a little bit of chit chat. So I see some folks joining in. Hello, everybody. Hi. Sharon in Tucson. Kim Caldwell, Carol Ann, Happy New Year. Heather Ollinger, hello. Jane from Long Island, hi you guys. Say hello if you're here. I hope all of you survived the big day. I always feel a little like, I don't know, let down after Christmas. I don't know what it is, but I just want to keep the good feelings of the holidays going, and we still have another week or so of December until New Year's Eve. So yeah, Santa Barbara girl, I'm chipper. I'm sort of chipper. I admittedly have a bit of a food hangover. I ate a lot of food yesterday. I especially love Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. They are my favorite. So I ate a little bit, like a lot. And I just had some lunch, which was leftovers from yesterday. So yeah, so I am stuffed. And that, it's that tryptophan effect from turkey. Hello, who else is here? Let's see. Oh my gosh, you guys. Kat is here from Colorado. Hannah from Iceland, hello. And she says it's very warm. Well, that's interesting. Leah from Maine. Texas, Tracy. Oma. Carol Ann from Southern Jersey. Yes, there is a big buildup, Sharon, for sure. Hi, BJ. Hey, Santa Barbara girl is saying hello and Happy New Year to everybody. Ellen is here. Gail C is here. Francie and KC is here. Ruth in Michigan says it's an ice storm here in Michigan. That says hot tea and beating time to me. Absolutely. That's what I would be doing for sure, Ruth. I would be doing that. Let's see. Beth is here from Central Florida. LJ Hill. Yes. Cheryl in PA. Laura from Texas. Janice from New Hampshire. Hello, you guys. Thank you all for being here. I don't see a moderator yet today in today's show, so I'm hoping that someone will be joining me today. I know during the holidays, things are getting a little scarce. People are, taking time and all that. So hopefully I will have somebody join me. But in case you've never watched live here on artbeads.com, the best place to watch the show live is right here at artbeads.com/live. You can chit chat with me, chit chat on with other serious art beaters. Thank you, Janice. And you can shop the show. So normally when there is a moderator, there will be pop-ups on your screen. Depending on where you're watching from, it might be in different places, but you can click on those shoppable links, or you could go to the shopping bag icon and you can click on that and you can see everything that's in the show. Let's see who else is here really quick before I flip down. Monica in Rhode Island says hello. Leah says my craft fairs are over for 2025 and now she hibernates and restocks. I love that, Leah. I love that for you. Take a break. Put your feet up. Maybe the tryptophan got our team too. Possibly. We'll see. And Hannah says it hasn't been this warm for Christmas since 1919. Ugh. Yesterday was 19 degrees in the east and sadly no snow. Oh yeah, the weather is weird everywhere. It's kind of scary. Linda in Boston says hello. Hazel's here from Massachusetts. Oma loves my earrings. Thank you, Oma. I think I made both of these here, but a while back. So yeah, I've got on all of the things from artbeads.com. So you guys, today we're going to talk about sparkle into the new year. And, I always think about sparkle for New Year's, but I also think that it's important to carry the sparkle on through the rest of the year. So we're going to do a little bit of sparkle and shine jewelry today. And, let me tell you about the deals before I flip my camera down. If you're watching on December 26th and up through December 31st, there is an end of the year blowout sale going on, which means up to 60% off store wide. And I check the sale out as I normally do for you guys, and there are some great prices, some great deals, and even some great deals on things that are in the show today. So that's pretty exciting. And let's see, free shipping in orders over $49. So that is awesome too. I love that. And that up to 60% off sale is good through the 31st of the month. So the end of that day. So check out the sale, and you can shop that sale, by clicking on the shopping bag. You'll have some items in there that you can choose from. So, let me see. I think that cover day is talk about sparkle and shine. So I'm going to flip down, and I see you guys chatting about the weather still. That's great. Some weather all over the place. That's weird. We are actually getting some little overcastness here where I am. And let me just get my camera. There we go. It's settled straight. Okay. So you guys, I'm going to talk about the obvious sparkle and shine first. So, I thought these were kind of fun. So if you like the rhinestone beads, the rhinestone ball beads that we've got. So we've got these in a number of colors. These are amazing and great for adding sparkle and shine to anything, really. So to your New Year's Eve, to your January days, to just about anything and everything. So these are absolutely gorgeous silver-plated 8mm sapphire rhinestone ball beads. Now, I have 3 of them in my hand because, and let me grab my bead mat here, because I thought we would just make one of the easiest earrings in the world with another element of sparkle. So let me show you these. These are some cool components. So these are sterling silver 25mm sparkle wire beading hoops, and they come in a pair, and they have this little loop at one end and a straight wire at the other end. And you'll see this is just a really nice sparkly wire. And by the way, forgive my nails. I did like 150,000 dishes yesterday. So my nails are just, they're done. So this is a set of hoops. And all I did here was add one of the rhinestone beads. So you can get some sparkle, and it's the easiest earring to make. Let me show you how to do it. The hardest part is finding the hole on the rhinestone bead. And all you're going to do is take that rhinestone bead, and you're going to put that onto your ear wire. And then these little ear wires are interesting. So they come this way so that you can put your bead on, or whatever it is that you're putting on to your ear wire. And then you use your pliers to take the end and just grab that very tip and bend it upwards so that you've got a little place to hook that loop. So you can slide this onto your ear and then latch it in the back. with that little loop. And I actually even come down and grab my loop and situate that a little straighter so that it will pick up that loop. So these are so sparkly and so adorable and so easy to make. And I'll tell you what, I love the various colors that these rhinestone beads come in. So if you like this, you can pick your colors and you can add more than one bead if you want. So I could add 2 if I wanted to my earrings. Let's take a look at, there's some gold rhinestones. These are gorgeous. So these are probably my favorite. So these are gorgeous, gorgeous fuchsia gold-plated 8mm rhinestone ball beads. So they're a gold metal and a fuchsia rhinestone. So if you're looking ahead to when you want to start using more pink in your designs, this is such a beautiful option. So pretty, so cool. I absolutely love these rhinestone beads. So you could, if you want to do mixed metal, you could put the gold onto these sparkly silver ear wires. So this is going to add some sparkle to your life. It's hard not to be sparkly with these earrings. And then here's some smaller ones. So here is a beautiful blue and gold, but these are 6mm. So they're a little bit smaller than our 8mm, and they have more of a compact look to them. And they're just gorgeous. So this is the same blue, but in a gold tone. And I really, really love these. So if you've never worked with these beads before or haven't used them in a design, they can also make just one little accent on a bracelet. They could be just a little something that you add, just a little bit of sparkle that you add to something. So these are gorgeous. I think you guys will really love these. These are actually in the clearance section at artbeads.com. So if you are looking for a deal on these beautiful little rhinestone beads, they are on clearance. Now, one more super sparkly idea for your little rhinestone ball beads is I put these 2 pieces together. So look at the sparkle and the shine on these. So these are really fantastic. So both of these items are on clearance right now. So you can get all of this sparkle and create an earring, and you've got something beautiful that will carry you through the year. These components, I'm afraid to get my fingerprints on them, but these components are Prestige 3255 18mm baguette sew on rhinestones. And they are sew on, but they can be used for so many other things. They have that nice generous hole. So I was able to take this beautiful 8mm fuchsia rhinestone ball bead, put it onto a ball end head pin, and wire wrap it directly to the bottom of this component. And this component then fit onto my ear wire with a little bit of manipulation to the ear wire, but super pretty, super gorgeous. I think gorgeous New Year's Eve vibes too, Sharon. I really love these. So this is sparkle. And friends, I think we can never have enough sparkle. So sparkle is exactly what you're going to get if you put these 2 things together. So I thought that we would cover all of the obvious sparkle early, but let's take a look at a couple more things, because maybe you've got something you want to embellish. And if you have ever worked with rhinestone cup chain, you may be familiar with this look. So this is a 2mm silver-plated brass crystal rhinestone cup chain. I love this chain for a lot of different things. One thing I love it for is embellishing something. So I love to take this chain and glue it onto a component glue it onto like a brass bracelet. So if you have like a brass cuff bracelet, you can glue some of this onto it to add a little bit of sparkle. You can also use this for earrings. And I was going to make this today, but I had a cool idea I wanted to show you. But you can take this chain and you can double it up, and you can grab some very thin gauge wire, and you can wrap your cup chain together and create like a wire wrap loop up top. There are findings that go along with this cup chain. I'm not sure that they are available right now. If there was a moderator here, I would ask them to double check that. But I don't believe that there are any findings available to go with the cup chain. So that is really a beautiful way to bring some sparkle and shine to all kinds of fun things. You can glue this onto wood beads or all kinds of things. So this is just something I like to have in my arsenal, and I wanted to make sure you saw that. So if you want to add some sparkle, you can. And then look at these. These are so beautiful. I meant to cut these out of the package and I did not remember to do so. Look at these. I had not seen these until I did, I don't know what search I did, but I was looking for something in particular, and I found this beautiful 13 millimeter black enamel gold-plated round rhinestone pendant. So it's got, it's gold tone, and it's got a bit of enamel that's in a textured part of the piece, and then there is a rhinestone in the center there. So these are really cool for earrings. I think you could just drop these onto an ear wire and you've got a really beautiful charm. Hey, Julie P. Yeah, Oma, they do look a little bit like buttons. So I love the look of these. Super fun, super different and interesting. So grab yourself a couple of those and you'll have a really pretty pair of earrings. Let me pull out the other couple of obvious things for our sparkle. So I'm sure you guys have all seen the rondelle spacers with rhinestones. These are so pretty, and I love these with all my heart. I've done so many designs with these over the years, and I love the look of them. This blue color is so nice for the winter. So if you're looking for, you know, kind of the enhancement to a blue design, these are so beautiful. All you need to do is add them, maybe a trio of them for the focal of a bracelet, if I can get a hold of them. Now, these may not be in the shopping bag because I don't know if the moderator saw my addition earlier today. So there's a possibility that these are not in the shopping bag, and I would have had them added in the course of the show if there were someone here. So that's what they look like. If for some reason they're not available, maybe we can get them added at a later point. Let's take a look at this. So this is so beautiful. So let's see. Fern says she just joined. She doesn't get the text notification. Well, we'll have to ask about that, friends, and see what's going on. This is some very sparkly chain. And I thought, you know, sometimes chain is not so obviously sparkly, but the cut on this metal is really nice and shiny and sparkly. So this is 2.3 millimeter gold-plated Figaro chain. It comes by the foot, and it's very nice and dainty chain. But what I love about it is it has these nice big links. So if you're looking to make some earrings and have chain dangle down and just add a bead to the end, you've got a nice, generous link that you can attach a jump ring or a head pin to. And Carol Ann says she loves this chain. I love this chain too. Figaro chain, I think, is so nice. It has such great dimension. And this just looks extra sparkly and shiny to me. So a great chain to go, to go with any kind of design, really. So let's talk about a design, because this is not your obvious sparkle and shine design. So I picked out some beads and things for this show, and what I was thinking in my mind is, we could go kind of down the metallic path. So does the chain come in silver? I think so, Monica, but without a moderator, I can't be certain. So I think we probably have that same style in a silver. Whether it's in stock or not might be the question, but I do believe it has been available, at least in the past. Sorry that I can't help while I'm here with no moderator right now. Okay, so this is kind of where I was headed. Like, I was thinking metallics are shiny, metallics are sparkly in and of themselves. And even though not all of the beads here are the true like gold, silver, copper, they are in that same vein and they have metallic finishes on them. So I put this simple design together, but it's big impact because it has lots of shine. It even is a bit sparkly. So look at the sparkle that you get off of these beads. So I'll walk you through the beads here, and then we're going to make a similar design. But let me tell you what's here. So if you want to grab these, you can. So here we've got some of our cushion rounds. Now, I don't have the name of the color, unfortunately, and you'll see this in the shopping bag. These beads will be in the shopping bag, and they're just a beautiful, like bronzy, chocolatey kind of cushion round. They're 14 millimeters. If you haven't seen our cushion rounds before, they are some incredible check glass beads, some of the most high impact visually. Now, also in this design, I did a trio of other beads. So there's this guy, which is a check fire polish, and it is a Color Trends, and it is 8 millimeter. Unfortunately, I don't have the color of that one. It's always so helpful to have a moderator to help me, because I don't always have the colors on my packaging. There's this one here, which is also the same kind of bead, just in a different colorway. And it's like, I think this one is a little bit like russet. So it's a really beautiful kind of sparkly fire polish bead. And then the center bead of the trio is saturated metallic blooming something. So if you're in the shopping bag and you see that is the bead, and it's an 8 millimeter Color Trends glass round bead. So we've got some fire polish and a round, and all of these colors together look amazing. And in between the beads, we've got a trio of my favorite demi-round seed bead, 11-0, and in this case, I used bronze. So the bronze kind of brought all of that metallic together. So if you're looking for shine, you're looking for a little bit of sparkle, but maybe not in the rhinestone kind of way, this is an amazing design to pull together all of that beautiful metallic color, beautiful shine. These beads are so shiny, it picks up the amazing, it picks up the light in my ring light here. So it's picking up everything. Yeah, so Sharon, yes, thank you for that. The colors are in the shopping bag. So if you guys are looking for the actual colors and you're doing some shopping in that shopping bag, all of the product specifications are in there for the things, with the exception of those rhinestone beads that I showed you earlier. Most everything should be in. So super cool. I love this necklace. So let's do something similar. I'm going to set these beads aside and kind of clear off a path. And I thought I would grab some sparkle with these. So these are sparkly. These are Czech fire polish, and they're in bronze, and they're 8mm, and they are sparkly and shiny and super pretty. A lot of times when you see a bead in this color, you might see like a Chinese crystal, but these are Czech glass, and they are super high quality, beautiful, gorgeous fire polish. And I thought they would match really nicely with the bronze round Czech glass bead. So this combination is beautiful. Look at the beautiful combination of shine and sparkle here. Now, what I thought we might do is bring in some shine, but with some color. And I grabbed some more cushion rounds. So these are beautiful. These are in transparent lush meadow. Now these again are so shiny. They're picking up my ring light. They're just wow, like so sparkly, so beautiful. So I've got those, and I thought, let's pull in another color. Let's pull these in, and oh my goodness, these are crazy good. These are amethyst fire polish in 10mm. So yes, Santa Barbara Girl, they are super pretty. These look delicious. Like these look like grape juice with like a little bit of sparkling water in them. Just a beautiful, delicious combination. So I thought this combo would be really interesting for a necklace. Thanks, Laura. So let's make a necklace. Let's make an easy peasy necklace. And I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to add these as our spacers. This is Permafinish Matte Galvanized Starlight, and these are 11.0 demi rounds. And you guys know I'm pretty obsessed with demi rounds these days. They are my favorite spacer. They are like half the size of a seed bead, and they look like a little tiny donut. So as if I haven't had enough sweets in the last 24 hours, I'm now craving a donut. So I'm going to dump out a few of those, and then I'm going to cut open my strands here and see if we can put together something pretty here. And I sincerely believe that you should wear sparkle all year round. You should never think about sparkle as something that has to be for a special occasion. So that's why I titled the show today, Sparkle and Shine into the New Year, because we're just going to sparkle our way on in to the new year. I just think we're just going to sparkle our way. And that's how we're going to face 2026, is with lots of fun sparkle. Look at these beads. Oh my goodness. So pretty. Woo, I love that color. Okay. So what I'm going to use for stringing wire here is some 19 strand beading wire in gold. And I've got, I'm going to work from the package, because what I thought we would do first is, yes, Mary Jane, all sparkle all the time. So I'm going to work from the package until I get the center of the design worked out. So I think what I want to do, these are our biggest fire polish. And Hannah says she so agrees with me. I'm so glad you guys are with me on that. And these are the biggest beads. So these are the two largest beads. I think we should create a focal section of these guys. So similar to what we did in the other design, I think we want to put all of those bigger beads in the center. And what I'm going to do is just add some of those demi rounds in between. And I like to do 3, but I think I'm just going to do 2 in this case to show you the difference with a different color and with the lesser amount of spacers, just to give you a sense of how the different, just a subtle difference can make a big difference actually. So here's our spacers in the doubles, and that pop of that matte galvanized starlight is so cool. Oma says, I think I could make spiders from those 2 different size beads. Yes, please, Oma. I would love to see your spiders. I've seen so many fun Christmas spiders this year, like all of the fun Christmas spider designs out there. I love seeing the variations and the different beads that people are using. It's really fun to see. So Oma, if you make them, if you use these beads and you make them, you should share them with us in the Serious Art Beaters Facebook group. I'd love to see them. Okay, so here is what we have so far. I'm going to keep going, and I want to create this colorful focal section. And I've got 1 strand of the cushion rounds and 1 strand of those amethyst fire polish, and they both will give me plenty for my focal section. And I want to have a bit of an uneven number of beads down there in the focal section. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I kind of like that. I like that combination. Francie says the large amethyst beads are gorgeous. They look so different from the photos in the shopping bag. This is one of the reasons why we love to show you these things on a live video, because sometimes photographs are as good as you can get them. Beads and jewelry are so hard to photograph. So I can tell you these are such a stunning color in person. And I'm hoping that the video is going to give you a little better taste of what these look like. So, okay, so now I'm going to pull in the gold, and I'm just going to go all gold, maybe throw in some amethyst. I don't know. Let's see. So I'm going to actually start with a round. And these are amazing too. So for a simple round bead, this bead has a lot of power to it. It is gorgeous. So let's pop on a fire polish next. So I got that round in my hand, and then maybe another purple. Let's see how that might look with the gold around it. So we're popping in some smaller beads. I don't know if I'm going to like that. Let's see how it looks. I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's going to add a little bit of dimension here. So these are an 8 millimeter. Those amethyst beads are a 10 millimeter. So that's how it's looking. And I love the demi rounds here. They're they almost look yellow. They're not quite as yellow in person. They look a little bit more like buttercream. I guess that's kind of yellow, but they are a really interesting texture because of that matte finish on them. So they're not as shiny. And I know we're talking about sparkle and shine here, but I love that they add that little bit of contrast there. So let's see how these guys look going upwards. Yeah, I kind of like that. Kind of like how that's looking. So let's keep going and add more. Christy says, take those out. Well, I could. They're actually amethyst, so they're a purple color. Christy. Yeah, let's take them out. Let's see how, because if what we'll do is we'll just shift all the way to, we'll shift all to the gold. So it's all gold from here on out. So we're going to do the, ooh, and I just added two more of those spacers because I thought I pulled those off. So let's do a fire polish. And then let's do a round and get that on there. So that's what we're going to look like. So we have this very colorful focal, and then we've got all of this gold up top. So I think it's pretty cool. Pretty beads. I mean, you really can't go wrong. So we've got a bunch of different texture. We've got sparkle, we've got shine. I'll tell you, the amethyst, these big giant amethyst fire polish are so sparkly. The shine is going to come off of those green beads. So they are amazingly shiny. And all the sparkle and shine is coming off of these check glass gold beads, the bronze, I should say. That's the color of those. So super pretty. And that's what we're looking like so far. This is going to be a little bit on the shorter side. I'm thinking, you know, maybe an 18-inch necklace, roughly, maybe 17, 18. And, you know, there's so many variations of check, and there's a lot of variations of cushion rounds. There's lots of variation of, you know, of the 10 millimeter and the 8 millimeter check that you guys can come up with an amazing sparkle and shine of a different variation if you don't like this one, for sure. And I think I did add some other colors to the shopping bag. So I'm gonna add just a couple more beads on this side, and then I'm gonna cut my wire from the packaging and continue on with the other side, and then I'll do a fit check to see how this will look, and check my length. So I'm gonna put a bead. I'm gonna leave plenty of wire up here so that I can add more if I need to. I'm gonna grab a bead stopper and I'm gonna drop that there, and then I'm gonna take my my wire and I'm gonna just eyeball it to make sure it's roughly about the same length, and I'm going to cut from the package. So putting it like that, and then we'll start adding wire to the other side. So, or I mean, adding beads to the other side. So let me get that here. And then we're just going to do the same pattern of beads. Now, if you prefer to go all fire polish, you could skip the rounds and you could just do all fire polish. But I thought, you know, this piece needs to have all kinds of fun with it. So lots of shapes, lots of texture, and all kinds of fun goodness here. So that's what this is looking like. All right, let's see how that's shaping up. I think that's great. Move that out of the way and keep going. Now, another option for you is, if you like the cushion rounds, you could do a few strands of cushion rounds and just make your piece mostly cushion rounds. There are lots of beautiful colors in the cushion rounds. So if you don't like this particular green, there are lots of other colors available of those. I did a design with all cushion rounds earlier in the year, and it was kind of a fall color design and I absolutely love it. I've worn it so many times now, and every time I wear it, people always say, oh my gosh, that necklace is so pretty. And I always have to say, yeah, it's amazing cushion round check gloss beads because they are phenomenal. So, all right, let's see here. Make sure I've got the right pattern going. So again, here's how those beads are looking together. So lots of texture, lots of interest with the demi rounds. Super fun, super cool. Let's grab another one of the fire polish and just checking my number of beads here. It looks like I need 2 more to make this the same as the other side, but I think I'm going to need some more beads. I'm going to do a quick fit check in a second and make sure I know what I need for my links. I always do a fit check around my neck. So I'm going to pull this up to my neck and see how it fits. And that's a little bit shorter than I would like. So just showing you guys this up close really quickly before I add some more. And this is what we're looking like. So I think I'm going to add at least 2 of each. I think 2 of each should do it. I think using a bead board or something like that is helpful to guide you in designing your piece, but always the best method to test this is checking it on your own neck. So just something I like to do because the beads are all different. So they're going to add all kinds of interest. Actually, I'm going to do 3 beads and see how that works. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. I just saw those flying by. Let's see, Deb, there are cushion rounds that match those sparkle spacers. Oh, really? There are? Curious, interesting. That might make a pretty design. I'm thinking you might be eyeballing those, Santa Barbara girl. Checking those out. Let's see, 1 more round and 1 more fire polish. And then I'm going to do another fit check on my neck. So just test out, let's see, do I have the same number of beads? Let's check that. Oh, you know what? I have 2 of those. That's what I did. I knew that didn't look right. All right, let's get that right. When the beads are the same color and the same size, the optical illusion of the shape messes with your brain, at least with mine. So let's see. Get that one on. And 1 more of the rounds. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. Thanks for hanging with me today. And I'm sorry that we don't have our sidekicks with us today. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so there is, I think, the right pattern. So I'm just going to double check my pattern really quickly. And then I'm going to check my neck. So see how that looks, how it feels. Oh, I like that. Okay, so now we're just going to finish this guy up. Now, just a couple of tidbits for you guys. So if you haven't worked with demi or with cushion rounds before, just know that these can move around on your piece. So they have a tendency not to stay in place, and it's because of their shape. If you wear them down at the focal section and everything else is a different shape, it's more likely that they'll lay flat if they're laying in a good position on your neck. So you just have to kind of be okay with the fact that they might move, they might have a mind of their own on occasion. So just a little tidbit about cushion rounds. But everything else here is going to play nice and is going to do exactly what you think it's going to do. So I need to grab a couple of crimps. and some French wire. And I think you guys know by now that I dig French wire. And bear with me one sec, I gotta grab a clasp too. What I did, you guys, was I actually grabbed silver instead of gold. I don't know why I did that, but I'm just gonna do a simple lobster claw today because I don't have a pretty toggle to work with today. I just didn't grab a pretty toggle. So we're going to use a lobster, and that's fine. It's going to look fine because we're not showing off the back. We're showing off the front. So let's see here. So I'm going to grab a couple of crimp tubes, and because I'm using 19 strand beading wire, I'm going to use some 2x2 crimp tubes, or size 2 crimp tubes. And when you use Beadalon's beading wire, it will tell you the size crimp tube to use. So in this case, it says for a crimp bead, use a size 1. And for a crimp tube, use a size 2. So just so you know that, in case you didn't. And in the shopping bag, you'll also have some French wire. So this is Beadalon French wire. It is a very nice quality French wire. It is a tiny little coil. So if I were to pull this apart, you would see the little coils of wire. And what I like to do is use this because it adds a little bit of oomph, a little bit of width to my wire. And even though it's the exact same color, it just does a little fun little trick of enhancing and finishing off your design. So I'm going to do 2 pieces of this wire, and I want one of them to be slightly longer because I'm just going to use a loop of it to attach my lobster claw to. So it's going to give my lobster claw a place to connect as a loop. And so I'll show you how I do that. So I'm going to take my crimp tube and drop that on. And then I've got, I don't know, just shy of 1 inch of French wire here that I'm going to put onto my wire. And it's very hard to see, but it is a fairly substantive, piece. It adds just a little bit of oomph to that wire. So let's take this and grab our crimping pliers. Get that out of the way. And I'm going to take my wire, and I always do the side with the loop first. I'm going to take my wire, I'm going to go down through that first bead. So I'm going to go through the crimp tube and the first bead, and I'm going to pull until my French wire is sitting right on top of that crimp bead. So you see it's making a nice generous loop. This is what we're going to attach to. You could also attach a jump ring to this loop if you would like, and that can be your connection point. So I'm going to put that crimp tube in the back notch of my crimping pliers. I'm going to turn my piece and put it into the front notch. And I've got a nice crimp. And then I'm going to cut off my excess. So I'm going to pull my wire away from the bead and use my cutters to trim that off. And then I'm going to pull and get all of the slack out of the beads, but I want to let it all flow into a very fluid shape so that it's not going to, bunch together and the beads aren't going to choke each other. So I'm going to add my crimp tube down to the bead on the other side, and I've got a smaller piece of French wire for the other end. I'm just going to put that on and then take my lobster and make sure that the lobster goes over the French wire. And then I'm going to take my wire, go back through the crimp tube, go back through the bead, and then I'm going to pull. And I want, again, that, that French wire to go right down and sit on top of that crimp tube. And that's going to give it a nice finished look. So you see the difference here between the wire and the French wire. This beading wire is lovely, and it works just fine and looks just fine without the French wire. But I like that extra finishing touch that the French wire is going to give me. So I'm going to hold on to that and give myself a nice crimp, and making sure that my lobster has some movement. You don't want to crimp so that your lobster is too tight, because you really want it to have some movement. So we've got our necklace, and I'm just gonna pick up these beads really quick because I don't want these to go everywhere. And I just saw I had a different color little demi-round on my mat. And then let's add these beads to some trays. And again, look at these gorgeous amethyst and these guys, so pretty. So I'm going to add all of the gold or the bronze beads to a tray and add these to a tray. These are so juicy and delicious. So pretty. Let me move those out of the way. Let's put this up against a natural and see how that looks. So we've got lots of sparkle. This is a super simple design, but look at the amount of sparkle and shine that we have for this pretty necklace. Easy peasy, something you don't have to think about, but it is high impact because of all that sparkle and shine, and these beads are gorgeous. So let's take our lobster claw and attach to our loop. So you see you've got a nice metallic look with that French wire. So pretty. And let's flip the camera up. Let's see how this looks. So, hi you guys, thanks for the hearts. I know this is just a simple design, you guys, but to be honest, the day after Christmas, I wanted to do a little something simple, but simple doesn't mean that it's not fantastic. So let's look at this one, if I can get it on. So such pretty colors, sparkle, shine, and then let's look at this one too. I like this one very much because of the colors. I'm gonna actually take this back off. So we made this one, but this is the one I made before the show. And this has some really nice neutral colors. So this is really great for, Francie asked if the lobster claw will stretch out or uncoil French wire. No. So I know folks are skeptical about the French wire. I have never had a problem with it. I honestly find it to be very reliable. So once you get it into its place, it should be fine. Now, it could tarnish a little bit potentially, just like any other metal that is, it's always going to eventually tarnish. But I've not even had that happen in anything I've made in the last few years. So it's nice and strong. I find that the Beadalon product is really good. So it's when you open it up, let me show you this. So when you open it up, you can pull on it. Now, if I pull really hard, it's gonna pull it out. But just in general, just lightly pulling on this, it's not going to stretch out or do anything weird. Now, I will say I love the Beadsmith product as well, but that's a little little more sensitive. Like it has more of a tendency to kink a little bit, but I've used it a lot of times in my designs. And once you get it into the design, it's fine. So it's a little interesting and unique to work with. But if you don't want to try it, don't like that idea, there's always wire guards, and you don't really have to add anything at all if you don't want to. I have not really had any trouble with beading wire either. There it is in kind of its form a little further away, so you can see how that's looking. But there are so many ways you can finish off a necklace. You can use seed beads. You could use those demi rounds, and you can create a little loop of seed beads or demi rounds, and that can also make your ends look a little bit interesting, a little bit, finished. There's so many possibilities of ways that you can finish a necklace. I really like the French wire. It's my go-to. So I use that just about for almost every design that I make for myself. I use it for bracelets and for necklaces, and I like those two together. Those kind of look pretty cool together. Thank you guys so much. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any other questions. Thank you guys for saying that it's pretty and beautiful, striking, pretty and festive. The green looks great with gray. I think so too. Gray, like you have to really think about gray sometimes. Gail, this one's probably a little over 18. This one is probably right around 18. I don't ever measure exactly unless I really have to measure them exactly. What are the beads between the green cushions? Ruth Alice, these are amethyst, 10 millimeter fire polish. And they are so juicy and beautiful. They're beautiful purple, just a really deep purple. Can we see a close-up of the earrings? So this is the earring. This is a little piece of chain. And if that bead, there we go. That is a tiara cast bead. I don't know if they are still in stock. There might be some. They have a bit of a larger hole, but not huge, large hole. And all it is the bead strung on a piece of chain, and that chain is attached directly to an ear wire. So easy peasy. This is one of my favorite earring designs. So any beads can work if you have the right size chain to go through the bead. We could do that project sometime. I could bring that back because it's a really fun project to make. Let's see, Anne Paula, the French wire gives a good finished look. Yes. Jane says it looks better than wire guards. I agree. I'm not a big wire guard fan. I use them maybe, like 1% of the time, 2% of the time. And let's see, thank you guys for your help in all of your comments, because I don't know what happened to a moderator today. I'm not sure. I think maybe just folks were out today, and maybe wires got crossed on supporting the show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to close out your carts. Some of the things in the show are on clearance, or they are they're in limited stock. So I would hate for you to miss out on them. So don't forget to close out your cart. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Tomorrow morning, Julie Bean will be here for her Saturday morning show. I've seen what she's going to do tomorrow. You're going to love it. And I'll be back Monday morning for another fun Designing with Deb show. And we're going to be talking about working with buttons. So I'm excited about that show. And thank you guys for being here. Have a wonderful weekend. Get some more downtime from the holiday and gear up for the last part of the year. We can do it, you guys. We can get there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, everybody.